A recent study in the journal JAMA Network Open shows use of the opioid overdose antidote is up among people who are not doctors or nurses. From June 2020 to June 2022, emergency medical services reported Narcan was used on 744,000 patients. Administration rates declined 6% over that time period, but the percentage of people who used Narcan before EMS arrived increased 43%.
Recently here at home, Narcan was used to save a life on the UW-Madison campus. It was the advocacy of a grieving mother that helped provide the life-saving kit. And tonight at 10, a story of turning your pain into purpose.
And I want to be transparent that this story is really personal for me. Cade Reddington was a bright light that was taken too soon. I know his family. I was one of Cade's youth group counselors when he was in high school and consider his older brother Ross a friend. I recently sat down with Cade's mother, Michelle, as she makes it her mission to carry Cade's light in the hopes of saving lives.
Oh, it's hard. It's been a roller coaster of emotions. You know, some days I feel like I'm doing good and I'm making progress, and then the next day it just feels like you're on the downside of a roller coaster, and the grief just hits you out of nowhere.
This time of the year is difficult for Michelle Kullmann. Monday marked 3 years since her son Cade passed away.
This is something I would never wish on anybody. And it's something you can't understand until you go through it. Like, nobody could ever describe the depth of the pain of losing a child until you go through it.
In November of 2021, Cade was just 3 months into his freshman year at UW-Milwaukee. According to his mom, he was in his college dorm when he took what he thought was one Percocet pill. It turned out to be fake and 100% fentanyl.
I didn't even know that he was experimenting with opioids, so when I got the phone call that they called it an overdose, I just said, there's no way he wouldn't do that. He knows better.
She doesn't call her son's death an overdose, but fentanyl poisoning. Kullmann says at the time, she didn't know a single pill could kill you.
It's not about taking too much of something, because it only takes 2 milligrams of fentanyl to kill you. It's enough to fit on the tip of a pencil. So we have to change that language to make sure that people understand that this can happen to anybody.
Over the last 3 years, Kullmann has tried to raise awareness so no other family has to feel her pain. She's worked with other bereaved families to get Narcan on UW college campuses, which just recently helped to save a life.
I opened the Narcan really quickly, read the instructions just to make sure that I'm not messing up or anything, of course.
Ruben is a UW student from Mallorca, Spain, and also works at the Memorial Union. During a routine weekday shift, he came across an adult male who did not appear to be a student, but was obviously in distress.
He was not responsive to us or anything. He has kind of like the cold sweats and kind of like lots of signs that told us from the first moment that it was an overdose, an opioid overdose probably. We give the Narcan, and a minute later the man is up. Disoriented, of course, he doesn't know where he really is, but he is up and he wanted to leave right away.
Ruben says paramedics eventually arrived and were able to care for the man, but he knows having the Narcan nearby could have been the difference between life and death.
Wow, I just saved someone, and what if I didn't have that Narcan, you know, what if I couldn't have done, or what if the ambulance wasn't there on time? It's kind of a relief of we did something good today.
Kullmann says it's important to continue to share Cade's light in hopes of spreading joy and love into the world.
Whenever somebody tells his story, it keeps him alive. And every life that gets saved because of his story being told gives his life more meaning.
He really was a special young man. Now, Cade's family is continuing to honor his legacy in other ways, including through a college scholarship fund for high school seniors. We've got more information posted on WKOW.com.